Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match reaction. Nottingham Forest 0, Everton 1. A huge win for the Blues at the City Ground tonight, and clawing some of those points back that have been taken off us unfairly, as we feel, don't we, as Evertonians. The manager didn't have Dominic Calvert-Lewin. There was that worry when he was told, we were told it was a late one with him. The weather, freezing cold and injuries made that choice, I think, a little bit of an easier one for Sean Dyche than it probably would have been. So no Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Beto started up front in place of him. The rest of it was just the same side that had played last week against Manchester United. Ashley Young continuing at right back. The game, the first half was poor, let's be honest. Two teams, poor performance from both of them. Everton had a good opportunity with Beto, but he fired the ball over the bar when McNeil had challenged the goalkeeper. And Morgan Gibbs-White probably went the closest for Nottingham Forest when he drove a shot into the side netting. They'd had a shot from Alanga a little bit earlier. Dwight McNeil had one cleared off the line as well in the first 45 minutes. But Everton just couldn't really get going in that first half. Same with Forest. It was just cancelled each other out, really. I think from a defensive point of view, I think Sean Dyche would have been quite happy with how the first half went. But in terms of an attacking perspective for that first half, I think he would have been disappointed, because we didn't really get in behind them. We didn't really build anything of note. The few times that we did kind of get in, Decore was guilty again of giving balls away, sloppy passing when we had good opportunities. There was one when he got in and he overhit one to Dwight McNeil, and if he just laid it early into McNeil's path, he probably could have struck it. But a lot of it was like that in the first half. We just couldn't get going properly, and that is frustrating, because you know that this game is there for the win, and it certainly was. We have to start winning games of football to start eating in to those 10 points. It is hugely frustrating. We should be sat here on 17 points and 11th now, looking up. But we're not, and we have to deal with it, and today is the best way to do it. Last week against Manchester United, we didn't take our opportunities when they came our way. Had we done, we'd have probably won the game. Today, Dwight McNeil got one really good opportunity in the second half, and he finished it brilliantly on his left foot. It was a good little move, actually, Jack Harrison. Nice little 1-2, and the ball pulled across. Beto's gone in for it. I thought he should have made contact. He misses it, and McNeil, good touch, and then smashes it into the roof of the net. Brilliant goal into the top corner. And that gave Everton something to hang on to. And it was one of those things in the game where at 0-0, Forest were very little threat, really. But then the minute Everton went 1-0 up, they obviously pushed on a little bit, and we were stretched. Jordan Pickford made a brilliant save coming out and closing down. He made another one, Murillo's shot, which he pushed out. I mean, it's a save I'd expect Jordan to make, but it was still a good save. And, there was those moments. Certainly the block was hugely important. We had James Garner put a great block in as well inside the penalty area, and that's what we had to do. There was 2 penalty appeals in the second half. One, there was no chance. Decore won it. It was, his arm was right next to his body. That was never a pen. The other one with Decore in gate, I actually think the referee, the VAR, got it wrong. I thought it was a penalty to Forest. Decore definitely pulls him down in the box. I thought that should have been a penalty. Everton should have had a penalty as well for a handball. Dwight McNeil going up with the goalkeeper, and the ball clearly strikes the player on the arm, on the bit below the sleeve, and his arm's out. So, that could have been looked at as well. But listen, Forest were lucky to finish the game with 11 men. Murillo already been booked. Beto, great turn, gets away from him. He drags him down. He should have been off. He then goes on to commit a further 2 fouls, and the referee, Tierney, has let him off with that one. But listen, that doesn't really matter. Good, solid performance, James Garner. He was given Sky Sports Man of the match. I thought he did have a good game. I thought he was everywhere, to be fair. Going back to, obviously, a club where he spent a good period of his career there on loan, and he's gone back and turned in a good display tonight. And I thought the two centre-backs were excellent, Branthwaite and Tarkowski. And Everton did the job. I think offensively, if I really want to split hairs and pick holes in it, I think Harrison has to do more. He was instrumental, obviously, in the goal. We need to see a bit more of that from him. And Dwight McNeil has got to do more. He's popped up brilliantly with the goal. And I hope now that that's the fuel for him to get his confidence going and start making the impact he did last season. Get that ball out your feet, get shots away. We were just a little bit too slow. At times, we were just kicking the ball anyway. Certainly in that first half, it did remind me of it. And I've watched the kids' game this morning. That was really low quality, and I think I was watching a very similar thing in that first 45. It did settle down. It was better in the second half. But all that really matters for us as Evertonians is we won the game. Fans were magnificent again. The protest before the game again. We're not going to let this lie, and we shouldn't do. Andy Burnham obviously has published the letter he got back off the Premier League today. He's picked a lot of holes in it because there is so many holes in it. And you'll get you get rival fans who won't accept it and want to believe the headline from the likes of Mathew, the sensationalism, and go on about that kind of thing. But the reality is, if you are a real football fan, you look at the whole thing and think, yeah, to be fair, whether you like Everton or you don't like Everton, the punishment is ridiculous for it. And there's a lot of other clubs who should be looking over the shoulder. There's investigations going on at the moment into, if you believe things that are doing the rounds, Forest could be one, Wolves are another. We've all got to stick together as football fans because it is nonsense what goes on. But anyway, back to the game. It was a big win. Yusuf Chimiti came on late on for Beto and got us over the line. And I think, from an Everton perspective, this was a very, very tricky game. Forest, good side at home, strong side at home. And Everton have come here tonight, kept a clean sheet and won the game 1-0. And Sean Dyche will be made up with that. He'll be delighted with that clean sheet on the road, delighted with another away victory. We really have to turn our home form around. We turn our home form around and carry on what we're doing on our travels. Everton have been nowhere near the bottom, nowhere near the conversation. Our home form is dismal. We've now got 2 home games in 3 days or 4 days, whatever it is, 3 days. We've got the opportunity to bag some points at Goodison. I'm sure Goodison will be bouncing on Thursday night when Newcastle arrive with their 3,000 correct posters or whatever they're bringing. There'll be a blow-up dinosaur there as well, I'm quite sure, because they love that one. And we've got to make it hostile and make sure that we can get the 3 points. Anthony Gordon will add that little bit of spice to that one. But it's an opportunity from us, from our perspective, a home game, a chance to get the 3 points and build on what we've done tonight at the City Ground. Brilliant victory tonight. I'm probably going to go with Sky Sports for James Garner. I thought he did have a very good game tonight. I think, like I say, I thought Branthwaite and Tarkowski were good. Jordan. No, you know what? Garner did play very well, but I'm going with Jordan Pickford. 2 key saves in the game. Clean sheet away from home. I'm going to go with Jordan. That is my man of the match. Right, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you later.